What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beats, Banter Beyond. And we have got our boy Paul Clark in the house.
Welcome, Paul.
What's happening, Paul?
Thanks for having me, boys.
Thanks
nice
for joining
to
us.
see you.
It is.
So you're in Belfast. You've got two shows. One tonight in Filthies with the NITF boys, and then Boring Point tomorrow. Looking forward to them.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I mean, last time I was here, we were in, where were we?
Ballymena.
Ballymena High.
Yeah, so I am looking forward to every single time I come over to Northern Ireland. I've always said it's like a second home to me. I love it here.
Yeah.
All my pals are here. And
Now, you're turning into a bit of a native now.
I am a little bit. I've even been looking at houses.
Ben Nicky number 2.
Hey, if you buy Ben Nicky from Wish, you get this.
I know. No, it is. This wee country, not in our scene for phase 2, the hardstyle scene sort of went on its arse, but for rave music in general, I think it sort of saved the country through the troubles. Like, you had the Met Arena, you had places like out there that was where like both sides of the community went, and it's still to this day a real focus in Northern Ireland where the community comes together to just have fun and dance and take a lot of drugs in the other world.
Yeah. So I was meant to ask you, am I allowed to swear on this?
Of course you are.
Yeah. Fantastic.
No,
Fuck.
Same thing I told Holly. No, you're not allowed to, you fucking cunt.
I was gonna save the cunt word for the end. Mate, it's funny you say that, right? Like, so being in England and playing in England for quite some time. When I came over to Northern Ireland, Shugz is one of my best friends, and all the boys are actually from over here. There must be something in the water. But every single time I ask them, like, why is it so busy? Like, why we can't seem, apart from the big events like the Creams and the Good Grease, we can't seem to get people back in the rave days of when I was younger. We used to get people through the door, and you guys have just seemed to have the market really well sewn up, and it's just such a good environment. Like, I love it.
That's it. Like, see a Telegraph, you could put anyone on in there, like, and the chances of it selling out,
But
is mad. Like,
it swings and roundabouts, so because whenever we were younger, the scene wasn't that big here, and you looked over at the videos like the Bionic Nights, and I'm like, fuck, that would be class doing that. And then as the scene over in England dissipated, our scene kind of grew, and then you're going over there and people are like, oh, your scene's class. Like, I know, but your scene's going to come back. Just stick
it does.
with
It swings around. The bubble will burst. Yeah. It's burst for the hardstyle scene here. It's shocking. You can't even put 200 in a club now. Like, where a couple of years ago we were playing the Telegraph, 2,500 people for hardstyle. And you're moving now into so you were sort of like a hard trancey, like tidy sort of stuff, wasn't it? What are you going for now?
So, like, give you a 360, right? So, like, when I was a teen, which was many moons ago now, 40 this year, so we won't talk about that. But when I was
a day over 45,
when I was a teen, I was right in the middle of when tidy tracks were just popping, right? Yeah. They were the go-to brand. They were forward-thinking, original, fresh, new. And it was just cool as fuck. Yeah. Like, Hard House was absolutely class. And then started coming in, like, the harder trance sound started coming through, technical and Dark by Design, and that was it. I loved trance. Oh, mate. Oh, Severe Punishment.
Yeah,
we got to remix that. I know you're out of that game, but we got to remix that.
There's a go then, huh?
There we go. You heard it here first. So, yeah, like, I always liked trance before I was into the hard house days, and then like combining hard with trance, that was when it was just like I was in heaven. Yeah. So like that was always my thing. I took a lot of time off, and then during COVID I bought a tiny little tractor controller, and I said to my family, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start playing again. So I started playing again, and like just mixing different tracks and stuff. Seeing that the hard house scene was a little bit kind of not on its arse isn't fair. It was just struggling, right? Yeah. People were moving on. So started learning how to produce, and that was back in 2019, 2020. And I got a real feel, mate. I was really excited by what Shugz and Rusty, Billy, and all that were doing on that kind of really borderline hard. It was like borderline hard style, hard trance.
I would class it as slowed down hard style.
Yeah.
So like, see if you listen to even like some of Hannah Lang stuff on the radio, it's the structure is a hard style track.
Yeah.
It's just it is different, but if you were to follow a hardstyle structure, that's what that is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And samples have changed the game a little bit, right? Because,
Oh,
you know, I love
100%.
working in samples. I like working in synths, but I love working in samples because it gives you so much creativity to cross the streams a little bit with different sounds. So anyway, getting to the point of today, like, so I started doing the hard trance stuff, but like, because I was moving up, learning, getting better and better at making my own music, when I actually came to the point where I was able to make my own music, in here was always that harder pushed vibe. And then this sort of hard techno, if you can call it that, I don't believe it's necessarily techno.
No,
I just think it's
early
fucking
hardstyle.
banging. Like,
There's too many things that are getting labelled as one genre, which is somebody else say it's a different genre. It's just banging music.
I think genres are gone now.
Yeah.
For the next 5 years
There's
anyway.
there's
I don't
blurred
s-
lines
there-
at least
there-
in it.
Yeah, because see, before the pandemic, there was a clear line between raw style, hard trance, tack trance, trance. See, now there isn't, and I envision the next 5 years being that, being people like Ben Nicky, where it's just play what you want, play what you want, play what you want. But then after that, it will come back again. This is another swings and roundabouts. So you have to try and be on the edge of that and not be, what would you call it? What would you call Ben? A multi-genre DJ.
multi-genre,
Yeah.
It could hurt you in the future, but right now I think that's the way to go. Like.
I think it's so like Ben was again. He was a bit of a pioneer in that
Yo.
kind of multi-genre set stuff. And you know, I'm a big fan of. I've always been a big fan of Ben, and what he's achieved in his career is just incredible. And he's set the tone for the industry in so many ways. I have always looked at it from a professional perspective. Of I love rock music. I love heavy metal. I love like Raw Blood. I was listening to Slipknot Duality the other day. What a fucking tune! What a tune! Training in the gym. I was bench pressing. I was like, this is
We were
class.
actually talking about this the other week in the show.
I'm more of a Stone Roses,
mate,
Oasis kind of guy.
But all of that, right?
Yeah.
So like, all of it. I love even like R&B, hip hop. I love everything. So for me, as long as I enjoy it, I don't care what it is. So like, Bring the Noise, for example, my brand. The point of it was to kind of just be a multi-genre event because I don't believe in genres. I just think everything sounds fucking class. And also, if you start genre specifying, for me, you're stumping the value of being able to be a pioneer in a particular sound.
Yeah.
Crossing those sounds is where you come up with the next big thing. So we've got to be open to that. So hard techno now, that's where I am, if you can call it that. I like to call it hard rave.
No, us
because it's a
hard
bit
style
early.
heads will always call it early hard style.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get. Because we
Fine.
were doing this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The same sound.
But we find that a lot in our careers, phase 2. People didn't know how to take us because we would go and play it like sort of a hardcore-ish raw night, and we would play a full raw, the French core set, and people were like, holy fuck, you guys can really go hard. It's like, I know, but that's what you guys have come to see, that style of music. Whereas we were saying in the car, we ended up somewhere it was pretty much an under 16s night. And you were like, yeah, let's just play
I'm
cheese.
in the tail, man. It was marketed
I
as
didn't
an
say
overrated-
where. I didn't say where.
See us, we have produced music from 132 to 220 BPM, right in between. So we were able to fill. And see as well, when we started out, I don't know if you ever heard of Subground. No activator.
Oh, yeah.
T78 now. So he created a sound called Subground, which was like the slower hard dance sound.
Right.
Everyone was producing, whenever we only started, everyone was producing hard trance and all. We were like, I don't want to do what everyone else doing. So we started producing Subground.
Right.
And that's sort of what the techno scene is now.
Yeah.
Because Activator sort of an innovator, you know what I mean? So we have went literally through everything, but we have never stuck to a sound. And I think that's what the problem is, because then you can't nail down a fan base. Do you know what I mean? So if you have 5 tracks, they're all one's Frenchcore, one's hardstyle, one's raw style. You're not really nailing down a community to support you.
It's so it kind of the
You're
challenge.
damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
It's so difficult. Like I had a sudden rise. I signed with Tidy, and I had this kind of trajectory rise very quickly. Good Grief brought me on as resident, and everything started happening. But it was good in amazing ways that I built a brilliant fan base, built Noise Addicts, and got to play at some amazing events. But I played probably the equivalent of 20 different styles of set in the course of a year. And the problem that I had is I actually reached this kind of plateau where I wasn't really known for it. They don't go Paul Clark or listen to a track and they go, that's Paul Clark. So that for me, over fame, fortune, playing, EDC or these big events. Actually, I'd rather leave a legacy for somebody going, we know Paul for that particular sound. So like I went down a rabbit hole because, of course, your Shugz.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that. I like that thinking. Like.
Yeah. Shugz and Billy and that obviously started getting real success in the bouncy stuff because they're so good at it. And so, of course, me being me, because I was still at this point where which way am I going to go, I started making it. And I was like, I had literally a mental health breakdown. Shugz turned around to me and said, you okay? I was like, no. I said, I can't make this. This is not me. So I started writing just what I would have classed as hard rave. And I found a lot of the hard techno DJs are supporting it. So what's happened now is I finally found my sound. Which, do you know what? So
I'll give you
exciting.
props for only starting in 2019. Your tunes are pretty goddamn good.
Cheers. It's a meteoric rise from where if it's in such a short space of time, like.
But that's it. That's what dedication, kids who are listening. That's what dedication and focus does to you. See if you want something. If you want something. See if you tell me you want to do something in life. If it's up to you to go and do it. Like I know what I want. My dream was only to learn how to make music. Wasn't really to be a DJ or a touring DJ and all.
Still chasing that dream,
still chasing it. But that was all it was. That's all I wanted to do. Like sitting here and producing tunes was the dream. Yeah. And I never stopped until I was able to do it. I'm not going to say expertly, but do it to a consistent level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've always been really kind of, for me, when I started out producing, and this was 2019, 2020. I did the Tidy Pro course.
You had a good time though, because over the COVID thing. Like at least you had plenty of time.
I had loads of time, but you have this sudden. I started doing it, and I did a good track for Tidy. It got signed and everything. But if I went back to that track now, I'd be like, "Fucking hell, that is fucking horrendous." But what I needed, right? Because I was one of these. I don't care about engineering and stuff like that. I've never been bothered. I don't. I
love it, mate.
Yeah,
I build it and then send it to him, and he does all the bells and whistles.
Sprinkles the magic on it.
But I've never been one for this war of it because I know what's in my head at some stage. If I really want to get what's in here onto a sheet from music, I've got to learn. So, but the problem is, I've been successful in different things in my life by learning from the best. So I went around a few people that were tutors, engineers, whatever you want to call them. And I circled around a few very good people, ended up with Shugz back in 2020, right? It's now 2024. I'd say right up till 2023, I would write a whole project start to finish. He'd go in, he'd show me how to make it better. Yeah. He'd show me, and then I'd go away, do it, come back, and we keep moving it, and we keep putting out music. It wasn't until, I'd say, probably January, until I really got into this hard rave stuff, which is probably around, I'd say, September, maybe August last year. Every track I've put, for him to have a look at, he's gone, I can't touch it. And that is the best fucking feeling.
Because that's what you've wanted to achieve. You've wanted to be able to say.
But that fair play to him too, because this is my approach to that. There was people we worked with whenever we were coming back and improving. They were finding nitty gritty things. This was back in the day. He's wanting you to push on. Yeah. He's not saying oh no, you need to be my client for 6 years. That's the way to do it. So I respect him for that.
Well, the relationship, mate, right, he's one of my best friends, right? But aside from that, it was the fact that he saw.
Have you ever asked him what it's like to work for Barry Almond?
I will. I'll text him now.
It's fucking nuts.
God love Barry. I set the agenda very early, right? It was like, I want to do what you do. The problem is he keeps getting so fucking good and he keeps getting better and better. I turned around to him the other day and I said, I just listened to you, he's done a track. And I was like, fuck, I feel like I'm still way off the mark. But
that's good. That gives you motivation.
Yeah,
it does. It keeps the hunger there, or the chase there.
That's the way I am. I'm say if I, one of them ones where you're procrastinating, you're like, oh, fuck, I can't be arsed going out. But then I go to myself, fucking Death Punch is in the studio, Shugz is in the studio. That's what I do, and I fucking take myself up and I run out and go, let's fucking go.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And then you go and ruin the track.
Fucking delete everything. But no, that's a cool, that's good. I don't know how you don't like the engineering. I love it, mate. See, getting in the serum, mate, and fucking just messing about.
I always spent too much time fucking about. Like,
He's
I never
magical.
understood
See
it.
melodies and all. Like he sends me melodies. And I'm like, fuck, they're really cool. Like, but I just can't get that side of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually a massive fan of it. But you will find some people that just don't have the time to make music, or actually just don't want to. And do you know what? That's fucking okay. I don't care. But like for me,
pay us and we'll do it.
Oh yeah. Or me now. Or me. But like I had a different agenda, and that's why. And I found the person that generally could help me achieve my goals. And now, like I say, like I'm putting out the best. And when I say best music, I say it from my perspective.
I would agree.
Like, I'm happy
from listening
That's
to it.
if you're happy with your music, then that's it.
That's
Because we've talked about this at length, and it's like you let on that you're going out to play music for all these people, but in reality, you're doing it for yourself. Like, you're playing this tune not because you think, oh, this is going to kill them. You're like, I think this is class, and I know that I've got good taste in music, so you are all going to fucking like this, okay?
Yeah.
And it is that whenever you make a tune and you play it to people for the first time and it goes off, it's such a self-gratification going, I'm fucking good.
You sort of know too, but see whenever you're on the one, you're sitting and you know, don't you?
Yeah.
Like you're going, oh, this is going to slap, like.
Yeah.
And when that comes around, that is. But my point of saying this is, if there are any young listeners, right, like I hope that inspires you to kind of not listen to the fucking noise and commit, because it's something that happens overnight. You've got to work with somebody that's better than you that can teach you. Otherwise, you've got to sit and watch a fucking load of videos.
That's how I learned.
I like to work with somebody. I like to work with somebody that can tutor me.
See,
that's
with
how I learn.
us when we come up, and especially in the hardstyle scene, whenever we were coming up through it, it was, oh, that's a sample snare. Oh, that's a lead that was in, wasn't it? Oh, that's a preset. So we came up, right? We came up in this era in like, say, 2014, 2015, where if it wasn't your own kick, it wasn't your own synths. Now, don't get me wrong, it's benefited us now, but it held us back then. And then see, once I started talking to people like Headhunters and D-Block and Estefan and Kutsky, and they're all like, no, I just fucking get a sample kick and take the punch off one and the bass off the other, put it together. And I'm like, fucking hell.
Well, for so long, we went arse about face doing everything, and then
but that was the environment we were coming up in. So, like, if you put a tune on YouTube or SoundCloud, the comments were just, oh, that's the synth out of such and such preset pack. Do you know what I mean? Where it's changed now to a degree.
Yeah.
But so we sat here for years going, all right, we're going to have to learn. Learned it all, and then we come out going, right, we know what we're doing now. And then they were like, aye, but have you got a social media following?
Yep.
And we're like,
fucking hell. But it's funny you say that, right? Like, so I said this to Shugz the other day. We're talking a lot about him. I don't know why the fuck he's on my mind. It's bizarre. But
no, he keeps telling us, we'll come up to do the show. And then,
he won't. But it's only because instrumentally, certainly in terms of where I am today musically, because look, the DJing side of it, I'll be honest, like that's always been something I've always been, I'd say, good at, because I was a vinyl DJ at the age of 14, right? I'm 40 now. It's quite a long fucking time.
Yeah, you've been doing it. Once it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to beat match two tunes, the rest is just
you're done and dusted. You're in. But now it's like, for me, it was like about becoming an artist, right? It's about, I was saying this that. A long time ago, I used to take a preset. I'd move a few bits around. Do you know what I mean? But I'd never really get dark and dirty with the LFO or the modulators or anything like that. I never. But now,
they're just fancy words.
Yeah. I don't even know what they mean. But now I want a sound. There's no preset for it. I'll find something close and I'll engineer it.
Yeah.
Which I fucking 4 years ago, if you'd asked me that, I would have been fuck that. Press play.
I've got to the stage now where I'll take the wave and look at it and go, right, how can I get that wave shape, mate, and sit there for 3 hours.
Cool. That's actually cool. People are probably sat there thinking we're a right bunch of fucking weirdos.
But it's such a nerdy thing. Like from the outside, whenever you see all the glitz and the glamour and the lasers, people don't realise we don't get to enjoy that. Like, see the big screens behind us with our names and the lights and all.
See it.
We don't see that. We see all your fucking faces being illuminated on a sticky floor, just in a different place. That's it. And then the rest of your time, you sit in a little room, not talking to people, making tunes.
Take my phone and take a picture.
Oh no! Oh.
Sorry, I'm DJing. I'm not a videographer.
I get that all the time.
I have just got goosebumps from that, but in a bad way, like a cringe, because that has happened to me so many times. If you're listening, it's one of the worst things you can do to a DJ.
They're just handing you their phone. Not even like I get
What's up,
people
where
like
with, can you
showing
play
you,
this song?
but like a picture of their phone with what they want you to play. I kind of get that, but handing your phone to take videos or pictures is a fucking nightmare. Like, but I'm glad it's not just us. It must.
No, it's just irritating because like you're in the middle of a transition. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's going, it happened in Newport for a Halloween gig I did like 2 years ago, and I took the photo, gave it her back. Literally 30 seconds later, she's doing it again. She'd take another photo. I'm like, yeah. Anyway,
that's the joys of being on the other side of everything. You're enjoying your night. We are providing you with wonder entertainment, and I suppose it's a compliment that they're wanting all this, but at the same time,
but it's not of you. Like it's of them in the crowd. Like I'm not a photographer.
Look what we were all doing here. That class.
Paul Clark, DJ/photographer.
No. Do you get an extra 50 quid for it?
A few extra beers in the rider.
It's not a bad idea.
So you've got a couple. I seen you post. You've a couple of EPs coming out.
Yep.
And I was actually researching the labels. They seem to be fucking big labels.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's
None of these tunes, I couldn't find clips of them anywhere, so I'm assuming they're not in the ether.
You mean I haven't sent you the promos?
No.
You don't play it anymore.
No,
you won't
no.
play it anymore.
No, send them over. We'll play
So
it.
with two aliases, you know.
Yeah.
One's feeding the other.
There you go.
Phase 2's feeding dice at the moment.
So the labels, it's DSR Digital. Then we've got MIWS and Zaya. So I mean that was the break for me because I'll be honest, like at first I was going to release everything because it was so original what I was trying to make, which didn't have a genre.
Yeah.
I wanted to create something, so I did Faith Over Fear, but I'll be honest, mate, like it did well on plays on Spotify, but like on Beatport it just fucking, I wasn't pushing it. I didn't really have the time. So I did Thirst, Thrift, and then I went to do Melancholy, but I didn't do Melancholy in the end. And then I was like, I'd done Ruach, which all I did was kept sending them out.
So, right, see these names, they're pretty, what would you call
Weird.
it? Weird names.
Yeah.
How are you coming up with them?
Fuck knows. I'll be honest, Thirst was...
You know what we do?
ChatGPT.
We just, like, the main vocal hook, like, not the good guy.
No. I can't remember. Why was Thrift? Oh, because it's the vocal is a cover from Gucci. It's like, I can't remember. Ray Sean did the original.
Right, okay.
So I did a cover of that. And so I called it Thrift, like thrift store instead of Gucci. So like just try and do plays on words, really. It's fucking hard.
Well, now that you've explained that is pretty smart, though.
Yeah.
I like that. I do like that.
Sometimes. Like Crank was quite easy because I couldn't call it Shut the Fuck Up, You Cunt, because nobody would have signed it. Well, nobody would sign it because of the vocal.
We had it. One of our first subground tunes got signed to a big Dutch label.
Money Over Bitches.
Money Over Bitches, and they made us call it MOB.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
And then all it said was money over bed bitches. And they were like, nope, can't do that there, I won't go on to the thing. But know what I've found? See the tunes that we discussed, I think, on the show. So we've had tunes where we have spent literally a day on them. Yeah. And been like, right, that's it, done. Never thought much of it, sent them out. And they do amazing. And then the other ones where you spend weeks like tinkering, like always fixing the vocal, adding the wee dB here and the kick, maybe putting a bit more high, like whatever it is. But you sit with this tune. We wrote the lyrics like Love the Rave and all. Like, boom, straight to the top of Beatport and the hard dance things. Do you know what I mean? But it's always the ones that don't do well are the ones you spend the most time on, I feel. I think that see as the experience that I'm doing, see the ones that I've knocked out quickly. They're the ones people relate to for some reason.
Yeah.
Love the Rave was probably the only, like, I don't know, it's a weird, stupid one, but it just went boom.
I took a
flew up,
picture
like.
because I hate social media, and he was trying to encourage me to do it. So I took a picture and was like, "Sure, shit, shave, ready for a rave." And then I went and wrote vocals around that little comment, and the whole thing just came about how you go out for a night, you get prepared for the week, you save your money at the end, and then you have a sure shit shave and you're ready for a rave.
I love that.
Australian bird, we got some Australia voice actor
I
to
had
do
it
it.
all computer generated, and then I sent her the lyrics, and I was like, I shall not hear from her tomorrow. And then she got back to me at 6 o'clock at her time. I was like, oh my god, this poor bird has woke up and was like, can
Shower
you say
shit
all this
shave.
shit
I'm
for
ready
me?
for a rave.
She fucking done 3 different versions of it. Was fucking class. class. And then see when you go over the wheels and you knock the volume down, they're like fucking red.
But again, that was another one we weren't particularly excited about it.
No, we're just messing about for a laugh.
Give it to Kutsky. Kutsky stuck it out, and the thing just went boom.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so it's weird you say that. Like for me, when I made this decision, I had to cut off. Basically, I was booked for like Wrong Malta this year, like big events, right? And I turned around.
You're in Malta with us, aren't you?
Yeah, for Escape. Yeah. Colour. But I
whatever.
turned around to Barry and we had like a pretty deep conversation, and I had the same conversation with Tidy, and it was a huge risk because I spent 3 years cultivating, working my ass off in this kind of trance hybrid space. And I just turned around and said, look, I'm going to commit to this. So coming into this like hard techno space, nobody knows who I am. So it was devastating in one way.
It's popular at the moment, though. That's
it
the
is.
good thing. Yeah.
But I have basically come in as a complete unknown. It's basically like any youngsters. That is, I might have the following, I might have the knowledge, but I've had to start over, man.
Well, that's what dice is for us.
So
rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice too, yeah.
Let's fucking do it, innit? Let's just see what happens. So when I've been sending out all my new tracks on just to all these artists like Nico Moreno, Shlomo.
He's a whopper.
Mate, he downloaded Thirst. He never played it, but at least I don't know.
You don't know it. There's no video footage of it.
Yeah, no video. But anyway, Isaiah messaged me on Ruach, and obviously he is now the hot prospect, and he is a wonderful bloke as well. He's such a sound kid. So he been playing Ruach, and he turned around, messaged me and said, look, I'm starting a label, can I have it as the first release? And for me, that was when the kind of penny dropped a little bit. I was like,
doing
fuck,
something right here, yeah.
I might be on to something, but I really, hopefully, this rise, if it happens, can really inspire the younger generation on how to go about doing it. And that for me is quite exciting, to leave a legacy.
This is a point that I meant to make earlier when I was talking about you have to skin your own fucking goat to make a drum, then to hit the drum and sample. So like whenever we were coming up, there getting help from people was a no-go.
Oh really?
Really.
Yeah.
And then Alex Kidd came in and helped us a bit as well. But no one was sharing nothing. Now again, the hard scene is different. It's a different scene than what the trance scene know. Yeah. And then people like Brian Kearney.
The mentality here, it's kind of like, here's the pie. One person has all the pie, and if they have it, then there's obviously no pie for anybody else. So you're not getting my piece of the pie to fucking do that, instead of being like,
but
guys.
Then Shugz, we're back talking to him. All the image changed it. Like I would give Shugz credit for David, Billy, yourself, Dara, Symmetric. Yeah.
The Kingmaker, we call him.
We call him a Kingmaker.
Yeah, he's incredible.
You know what I mean? So, but there you go. It just takes one person to change the course of how everything has been done in the past. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you're saying there. Listen, ask for help. If you're not sure, ask for help.
Right.
Took me 10 years probably to learn that. Right? Yeah. Okay. If I'm not sure what I'm doing on this part of the track, why don't they give John Kutsky a shout or someone a shout and say, here.
See, even a couple of years ago, we wouldn't even have asked you to come and do this. See, the notion of messaging people to ask them to do something for you, it was like a fucking foreign concept to us, because it was like,
that's why we're not in any cliques or anything. We just, everything's in-house. Everything we do is us. We've done everything. Mixing, mastering, the fucking heap. Like, artwork we do, fucking videos we do ourselves, everything. So that's the only good thing we have going forward. All we need now is to build something around that. You know what I mean? And
like
push
decent
on.
Music.
You've got loads of that.
Better masters.
Fucking don't even get me started with mastering. That's a complete different rabbit hole.
I was just me going down. I was me to say, I'm paying someone here to do this. I don't want to pay him.
Don't blame me.
But that's what it boils down to.
I don't know.
Even that was what it kind of came with Alex. Whenever that's what you were alluding to there. Alex helped us a bit whenever the walls were starting to come down a bit, and he approached us and was like, "Here, I think I can fucking do that and make it a wee bit better for you," and he did. But then when you were saying what he was sending back, as you said, you're like, "This, it's not a kick in the arse of what I know. It's just I'm not looking at it from that angle." But even back then, there was still a lot of stuff I didn't know.
He put a low cut. He cut the low end a wee bit more than I was cutting it, but it was sounding so much cleaner. I'm like, how the fuck's that happening?
The thing is, right, I look at it like a footballer, right? So if you're most decent footballers are naturally good at football, but they have the skills. They don't just suddenly go out and become a Ronaldo. They learn from their peers. They learn from the industry professionals that are fucking better than them, and that's the thing. That was the goal. It was like, you know, and I think what's beneficial is find somebody that generally you not just enjoy spending your time with, that's going to tutor and teach and give you the advice that you need, but actually is creating music that you like. And that for me was the learning curve. I'd worked with a number of different people that were fantastic, but the sound wasn't where I wanted to be. So I'm not why if if I want to learn how to be a striker, I'm not going to go and work with a defender.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like that was the difference, and I found that, and that's why I've been with him for 4 years. We still do a bit of work together, mainly the mix and master, because I tell you what, the boy is an absolute fucking wizard. I can do it, but I want the best quality shit going out. And do you know what? I don't care if somebody's made a track on a fucking potato, as long as it sounds good and I can play it and people like it.
The punters don't care, eh?
No, they're the fucking product.
They don't care whether fucking I produced the tune, he produced the tune, you produced the tune. See, as long as it slaps
But
on the
it's
dance
stuff
floor.
we all get wrapped up in, though, because we're creating it. We forget that element of people don't give a fuck about all the thing. Oh, I'll spend like,
And that's your market,
This
so-
wee mini second here, but people are like, they're not going to give a. It was the Tweakers video we were watching, and they were like, yeah, we just use the same fucking down sweep and impact in every tune, the same clap, because like, when have you ever heard somebody going, have you heard the latest track that has this fucking riser in it? And see, once they'd done that, I was like,
I've
holy
started
fuck,
doing that.
Same
that's
claps
amazing.
you'll have.
It just saves so much instead of going.
But that's also how you know it's a phase, in my opinion, right? So the past 3-4 tracks I've used, pretty much the same effects. So same down sweep, same clap, same crash. Well, I don't hardly use crashes, but like white noises, all of it, because I want it to get habitual, that people listen to it and go, without having a look, that sounds like Paul Clark.
Yeah.
Now that is genius marketing. Like that's fucking really good marketing if people can do that. So.
See, that is the hardest part. I hear what you're saying there. See, there's so many artists. Once you hear the first 10 seconds, you go,
I know that.
you know who it is.
We've had clients come in to the studio, and it's like, so what are you looking to get out of this? Like, first 2-3 times that they've ever had in the studio, and they're like, I just want to create my own sound. Right? And you have to be honest with them, because
In a day set.
Well, it's like,
This was only a couple of days ago.
but you have to be honest and be like, look, you can't make your own sound until you know how to make music. If you don't know how to really drag a sample in and lay out a track, how do you plan on making your own sound? It's only once you know how everything works and goes together in a nice little jigsaw that you can then say, okay, well, now that I have that down, if I tweak this, or if I rearrange this to this way, or do it this way, then that'll be my kind of thing. And that's then where you branch off from. But I think a lot of that as well, because of social media now, people think it is there's a song made. And it's like a fucking...
YouTube would make you think it's easy if you watch too much stuff.
Them tutorials where it's like, oh yeah, do this, do this, do this, and it sounds like boom, and you do exactly the same thing. And it goes,
So what are you looking forward to the most this summer, Paul? You've got a lot going on.
Creamfields now, I'd say.
That was my favourite.
You boys
ever.
on Creamfields?
No, not this year, but
you
we have played it. Like, that was my favourite ever. Like, it was epic. It was the one we always wanted to do, and then the pandemic hit. We were meant to play it. Pandemic hit. We're like, fuck. And then the next year we got on, and we're like, happy days and special. Like,
oh, it really was special.
It was special.
I
You
think-
played it last year, didn't you?
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to make up for it, and it's nothing. It's nobody's fault. I mean, the weather completely terrorised
ruined
the
Planet
place.
Love and everything last year. Yeah.
And I was supposed to be playing. I think it was an hour and a half at 2:00, and we turned up at midday, and the place was shut down. We were like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then, 2 hours had gone by. They said they pushed everything back, and poor Healy. Do you know Healy, the young girl? She loved
Yes.
Healy.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
real talented
Yeah.
girl. She was on before me, and she had all her family there. And they came up to me and said, like, Healy's not going to be able to play. You're going to play, and you're only going to get 20 minutes. And of course, I was devastated. But, like, it was either I offered to give it to Healy. Round of applause, Paul. Yeah. No, but like I did, because at the end of the day, if it was meant to, I'd rather be, if it's meant to be for me, they'll bring me back another time.
100%.
So I went to offer to her, and she said, no, it's fine. So as I went on to play this 20 minutes, I pressed play, and I got a tap on the back of the shoulder and said, oh, you've got an hour. So I gave her 20 minutes, and I went on for 40. But
nice.
for the excitement and the build up,
It wasn't.
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I loved it, and
No,
I played
I hear you.
Creamfields. But you know what I mean. As a professional, as an artist,
You
wanted
and
to
I
go-
had it in my head what I was going to do, I couldn't deliver on that. So this year is
Because you're
making that up.
visualizing it the whole time.
Yeah.
See, we went to summer splitting the fucking
Oh,
trees. I got
mate.
sunburned.
See,
and all this
the,
fucking-
the bullied the
That's
fuck out of us
amazing.
though.
Jealous.
We were playing first on the Friday, so we Reckless and Jack Harlow we were sitting with, and they were like, guys, there'll be like 10 people.
Aye,
There's-
there'll be
there's 10
tumbleweeds.
people.
Just enjoy the experience and all.
And we went in and see within like 10 minutes, it was like
Rammed.
250, 300 people. And it was just because the way our tent was, people were cutting through. But we knew if you played commercial-ish tunes, people will stay for that tune. And if
Yeah.
you keep them going on that roller coaster, you'll get the
We
footfall
captured it,
staying
mate.
for a bit.
Like by the end of it, a place was up on two wheels. And no disrespect to all the ones that were on after us, like it just died after that. But they made us sign a fucking form about not doing mosh pits. Because we have a habit of getting the crowd to go quite crazy.
Do
And
we?
then we were saying to everyone after, did you have to sign a form? But no, we're like, no. We're like, we had to sign a form, no mosh pits.
Right,
No
like, no,
shit.
no mosh pits or radish behaviour. It's like, is this because we're from Belfast?
Ah, fuck's sake. I mean, they make a point, right?
Well, that's it. See fucking someone down on them with Stone Island.
Yeah, there he is.
And you're doing,
But
you're
no,
doing a
it is-
stage at Logic as well this year.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
It's
So,
a fucking great lineup on stage
yeah,
as well.
it's good. It's good.
That's right,
It's-
we're on that too, so that's a couple of times we'll be with you this year.
Yeah, which is always a pleasure.
Always
Oh,
a
yeah,
pleasure.
spending
That's
time with you.
Looking forward to it.
Now the Bring the Noise thing was it was in fact we were talking about I was talking about it in the car with Hugh for Northern Ireland trans family.
You never got that, eh?
Nearly got it.
In your seat,
I had about an hour and a half sleep last night. I got 4 kids at home that are keeping me up. But like it was I've got to this point, right? We launched Bring the Noise and we did 700 year one, 600 last year. So it went down, but we spent less, although we had a better lineup, I think, year 2. It gets, to be honest, made nothing, right? So it was like, do you know what?
didn't lose though.
Didn't lose, but also at the same time, like me and Hugh were talking about, I put a good 6 to 12 months worth of work in, and everybody else is and it's great feeling, but it's a lot of work.
Great feelings don't buy groceries.
They don't, and also as well, is it time better spent on other things, right?
Yeah,
Like where I
yeah.
can be putting set prep in, marketing, or making music, you know.
exactly.
So like I had to make that decision. So I was gonna just do the Little Noise Addicts because they sell out. We do 200,
Yeah.
250 people an event, and they sell out. So just doing those, you make a little skim off the top in money, and you put on a good event. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to do Bring the Noise anymore. And then, your man Jason approached me and said, do we want to do a stage with him? And or actually, we're all doing it together. So we're all partners in it. So
Yeah.
although it's branded Logic, it's split 3 ways
Yeah,
with Keep On Raving.
keep on
Brilliant.
raving.
Looking
That's
forward to
it. We played Logic Festival. I don't know, fucking 2019 or something.
Yeah.
And it was mental.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a good way. Like,
Yeah.
like see, when we went, we're like, oh, it's only a wee small festival or whatever. And we got there, and it was maybe a couple of thousand people. Every tent was
A guy
fucking
gets stuck up a tree for
Wow.
2.5 hours.
Aye,
No
shit.
shit.
Had to get the
that's
fa-
fu-
like-
wasn't him, was it?
No.
He was trying to climb
he put it
in.
on Facebook. He was like, this guy's trying to climb in to see our set. But like proper, like wee skinny branches, completely chinned, fire brigade out and all. He was
But
just sitting there being like, yeah.
What, off his head?
Cheeky wanker.
But it was, mate, the atmosphere in that. Like, I've played some big festivals, played Creamfields, played loads of big festivals, and the atmosphere in that wee one was magic. Like, it was so good. Like, I came away from that. We played the after party as well, I think.
Yeah.
Came away from it going like, holy fuck, like that was special. So if you can capture what was captured in 2019, you're in for a good time.
Hope
right?
so. I hope so. It's what I mean. The light, you know. I brought Ubs over. Uber Jack. He's coming over. He's become a
yes.
really good friend of mine.
Yep.
And you know, we got the Energy Track boys, and then Traditional Suspects because they're just part of the fabric with us.
Yeah.
You know, Shugz, Renegade, myself, Jason, Kinetic. You know, and to be honest,
Chemic
like
as well.
yeah, a lot of these Kimmich, Matty Ralph. I mean, the kid is. I love that boy.
he's
just
blew
such
up,
a lovely
yeah.
lad. Lucas De Jong, like he's massively underrated in the trance space,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But the Bring the Noise was about it's about bringing people that people would not normally see, but it's also those usual suspects, the faces that people always like to see.
Yeah.
So Shugz being one of them. Renegades, like Tam's. Just
I love Thomas.
Oh, I love that. Kid.
Thomas was another one at the
Such a
start
lad.
when we started. He would have
Like
helped us.
way-
He would have
oh, yeah.
mastered our stuff
properly
and
at the
that,
start, like 11 years ago, and he gave us a bit of guidance. Fucking great lad.
Yeah,
He's underrated, I feel.
yeah, massively.
Especially here, he doesn't get
do.
half the amount of dues that he deserves.
He doesn't
here.
do great at all. I like for his consistency and the much he puts out. He's very underrated.
He's got his own sound, right? He's probably one of the most talented people I've ever had the because we did a collab together. One of the most talented people I've ever known, and I've said that to his face. Humble as pie, straight as an arrow as well. Like if he doesn't like something, he'll tell you, and I love that about him. I think that if with music, right, as well, is like. Certainly with the hard techno, I've got very lucky personally right now that it's blown up, right?
Yeah.
It could have went the other way,
Yeah.
right? Say hard techno was fucking not blowing up, and I've gone into it. At least I'm happy making the music that I was doing, and at some stage it could blow up, or I could be the pioneer of it blowing up.
Yeah,
and that's where Tam sits. He is in that hard trance will come back, and it will come back in a big way, and I guarantee he'll be sat right at the top of that.
He'll be the ska project of the.
But again, do you know what it is? The fucking audience are the dictators of what happens to this fucking industry, not us.
No,
like
we're
if they
just
like
all waiting in line, going, "Pick me."
Yeah,
it's
you
like whenever
could-
you're at school getting
Do you
picked
know
for the football team.
Do you know why hardstyle blew up? Because there was a 7-minute clip of Shugz playing "Fuck a System" at Climax.
Wow.
Remember they had their fucking
Yeah.
like that is why hardstyle blew up, because all us whenever I was 15, 16, I had that on my Bebo wall, and that was everyone had it. So it was like I live for
Then
hardstyle,
LED
baby.
started doing nights in
And then,
Oma.
but that's why worldwide though. That's why hardstyle blew up from that one tune.
Yeah, but
That's all hard techno. You can sort of say would it be like BLK? What was it? Enter the
Enter the Dragon. I mean, that sounds nothing like what he's making now.
No.
But it blew up. But this is my point, and this is what I think as artists. Then when I see people kind of getting a bit kicking off online and the arguments that take place over certain things that are very much introvert on us as professionals, I think we got to step back sometimes, not teaching people to suck eggs, and remember that, to be honest, the most important people in the music industry are the people that either pay a ticket to come and see you or buy your record to listen to, not to play, to DJ.
Yeah.
That's where I'm not a massive fan of Beatport, because everybody's chasing these number ones in the chart. Well, that's great. A load of DJs, or bedroom DJs are playing my music. Do you know
It's the
people that are
iTunes
buying it
and the
to listen
Spotify.
to on their fucking iPod? No. So, like, they stream everything. So
ta-
that's now you know.
Yeah, we talked about this last week on the show. Our friend LED, do you know
Yeah,
LED?
yeah, he's
So
a great lad.
Nal made Voodoo People
Wow.
years ago. It was a remix of the Prodigy Voodoo People, and he made £20,000 off a white label record.
Wow.
One record. And I'm pretty sure, I need to ask him when we get him on the show, I'm pretty sure he reprinted a white label remix, one record. I don't think I've ever made anywhere near that out of music sales.
No.
About 100 quid.
But again,
my
that's-
max. I think
it's
I've
with
done
the-
about £100. That's about it.
But it's not in the
great.
music. It's in your
It
music
really isn't.
gets you the gigs, and the gigs is what pays the bills.
Which brings us back to the conversation us and Kutsky had in here the other week. We were talking about, Kutsky was saying, it got this stage where the producers were making the tunes and they were making all this money off the records, off the money they were selling for records. So say you're making 20 grand every tune you make, fucking happy
Serious
days,
money.
right? And then the next minute, digital stuff started coming in. So they were making these tunes, giving them to the DJs. DJs were playing them, like above and beyond to have the DJs and producers. And then the producers went, hold on, I'm not making enough money anymore. I'm going to have to go and DJ. And then that's whenever the producers and the DJ world collided.
That's interesting. Never thought of it like that.
Yeah. So the were John was explaining to us, obviously he came up Radio 1 and all, it's like it was two separate entities at the start. So most of the big DJs, people like Eddie Holloway and all, never produced. They were getting their tunes off other people just. Then producers were making a
But
fortune.
that's what was said at the start of this. We're now starting to see that only in a genre form. It's just everything starting to mesh together.
Yeah.
Like I listened to a hard techno track today and it was Rawstown. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
in what world is that even hard techno?
Yeah,
Like
it's-
proper pitched kicks and all. And you're like,
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, the track I'm working on right now is basically a pitch kick.
Yeah.
It's a raw kick
Nice.
on a drop. But
Love it.
again, I'll play to the, if somebody says,
oh yeah, 100%.
I'll play to the branded if the hat fits right,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Sounds
But
good.
I'm happy to call it hardstyle. That's why I said hard rave, because it's just
I like
fucking
that.
rave
But
music.
that's
that's
what
banging.
I've said to him.
But it also gives you more of an option to then do
Drift.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that name.
Yeah.
I do like that name.
But
Hard
that's
rave
what it is.
better.
You're asking about all this new music. It's like, what do we call it? It's just rave music. That's what it is. People go out and have a rave to it. It's not fucking any specific genre. It's just music. You go and have a
I
fucking
know
rave
you
to.
can't call your Beatport chart multi-genre chart, like, can you?
No. I mean, again, like it's funnily enough you say about that race. So it's when I worked with Will Atkinson.
He's a monster producer.
He is, mate.
I've
and,
never
like,
worked with him or anything, but just listening to his stuff, mate.
Well, I went into, because again, it was part of, what was it, 2 years ago now? Must be 2 years ago. I wanted to get in the studio from Will because he used Ableton and I wanted to learn from him. So I booked in with him and I was hoping I'd be able to get involved. And I didn't. He basically gearhead, and this is you'd know anyway. You only have to check the credits on Spotify, and it'll tell you. But Will made that track. You know, he engineered that track. Had my name on it. But I'm very proud of it because we sat and did it together. You know, and you know, I was instrumental in it. But he engineered that track. Watching that guy work the things I learned in 2 days, and honestly, were insane. Like, it was worth doing, and it was worth it. Yeah, the track's great, but honestly, the track
It's what you
over
got
what
out of it.
I got out of it personally in terms of learning, couldn't even put.
I can't put a
shilling
price on it.
mate. Can't put a price on it. So you know, again, and that's my point is. I don't know about in the past because I retired from like the early 20s, my mid 20s till COVID, and then when I come back into it and realised that I wanted to produce, I don't really get involved in all this. I've been fucking marginalised, slagged off, fucking torn apart online. Like somebody on that Gearhead one, oh, you only have to check the credits. Go and fucking check the credits.
That's
like,
right, yeah.
I
No, it's
don't
not-
give a fuck.
It's not like you're hiding it.
You know, at the end point is, right, if I was just going to use engineers for the rest of my career, then I probably... well, it's hard to think like that because I'd be thinking for the wrong reason because I don't want that. I didn't want that.
It's
I
right
want to
if
make
you-
make what's in my melon.
But
But
you're
I've
getting
got to learn
guided.
how to fucking do it.
Exactly.
Like, and that takes time. And yes, I'm going to put records out in the meantime because
To
it's there.
build a
What
brand.
do you want me to do? Fucking leave it? Like, it's so
that's it. If
dumb.
it's there, then
Like,
put it out.
That's a clip. Love it.
Spend all this fucking money like on tuition and engineering. I'm just gonna fucking park it there because your ego's getting in the way. Fucking do one. It's
that's
going
it.
out. Like,
Yep.
you know. So
You have to. This is the thing. You
There's
don't.
too much ego.
Rome
in a
wasn't
lot of
built
people.
in a day. You have to learn. Like, I agree with you 100%. Put the music out. We have Alex Kidd's name on our tunes. We have people that helped us. Mate, it's definitely the way to do it. I just wish I had learned it earlier.
You get to look
So,
back as well.
that's the
and
name
watch
of this
progression
podcast.
Exactly.
Because you'll listen to a tune and be like, that was shit compared to what I'm doing now. But at the time, that was your best
I know,
effort.
I think you're doing good now, though. That's the problem. Your ideas, like, you obviously, I don't know if what's going on, but your ideas and your tune structure are solid as a rock.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you
It's
know what?
solid as a rock.
I can take that now and genuinely be really, really humbly happy about that because I am fucking banging out a track a week at the moment. Like, and they're getting, do you know, the feeling getting Ruach signed, like, and this EP
It's
with
delayed
DSR Digital.
It's a delayed.
It's a delayed
that-
sentence, Jason, fuck's sake.
Sorry, I had a 1-to-4 ratio on it. But no,
Sample
Delayed
that.
gratification.
Let's get in now, and we'll put a raw kick over the top. We're in.
I'm not even going to translate, but you know what I mean. It's like you make the tune, you understand it's good, but then you don't get the satisfaction until down the line.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'll
Some
be
might
honest.
say delayed gratification.
I used
Where
to
sniffing here and
Yeah.
raiding her is like
Yeah. I used to
Instant.
say to Shugz during, like, not last year, the year before, when I'm putting this music out, you know, don't get me wrong, every single track I was making, but with him in tandem, right? So when I'm putting this out, I used to say to him every session, I said, oh, I just want to be able to do this. I just want to be able to do this like you do it. And he saw that in me Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to fucking do it, and that's why I worked so hard.
But that's what we
And-
say when we have people come in here.
Yeah.
There's people who show, like, there's people who show up with a fucking notepad, and they seem keen, and the next 8 hours or whatever it is you're with them, it's great because you know you're actually being beneficial to their life, and there's people that come in, and they've no
You
care
know
in
it's
the
just a
man in the moon,
paycheck.
and you're like, I don't like doing it. I know I'm getting paid for it, and I'm getting paid well, but at the same time, I don't want this to just be a paycheck. As you said earlier, I could be putting my time into doing our projects or doing something else that's going to benefit us rather than teach you something that's going to go out the window by the time you drive home.
Yeah, there's a lot of learning curves as well. Like, and this is the other thing that, you know, there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of ways to do things in a way that is professional, and you are going to make mistakes along the way. The one thing is, like, and I've always been like this, maybe it's because I'm a father, build people up, right? Like, don't fucking cut them down.
Yeah.
Because if you're cutting them down, you're cutting them down for a reason that's personal because you want to fucking cut them down.
Yeah.
And that's on you. Like, there's no, if somebody does something, there's loads of stuff. I saw stuff online, like, and that was really, really
It's a
ripping into
cesspit.
people,
It's a
right?
cesspit.
Because they've said they've done something that they haven't done, right? Who gives a fuck? If you care about them, speak to them offline and say, look, you shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this fucking, like, monstrous, like,
people
from
love it.
middle-aged old men fucking diving on people for stuff that, like,
Mistakes. Everyone makes a mistake.
like,
yeah.
it is hard, like, and you know what? Everybody wants it, and if they didn't want it, they wouldn't work as hard as they are working.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a fucking. Some kids look at the stages we play on, and that is their dream, man. Don't fucking hold them back. And if they're gonna do it a way
Yeah.
that's suitable to them and they make it, good for fucking them.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
That's it. I always say it's famine mentality. Like, people think, oh, if he gets it, we touched it on a wee bit earlier. If he gets this, I'm not going to get this. No, listen, the market will decide. I'm a pure capitalist. The market will decide. If you're good enough, the market will push you to the top. Do you know why? Because people will then buy your tickets, people will buy your merch, people will buy your music, and that's it. It doesn't matter who you are. Yes, people get a bit of luck along the way, but the market will decide.
Yeah.
If you're good enough and you're doing as much hard work as you think you're doing, you will rise.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
as simple.
big names as well. Like, you know, there's like Juicy M, for example, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she is a pin-up, beautiful girl.
And
I would
a
pay to
great-
go and I'm not
great
disrespecting.
DJ as
a
well.
very good DJ. Honestly, I looked at a video and I was nearly in tears just looking at it, even
Is
thinking
this
about
the
it.
video that she didn't have headphones on and everyone was going fucking
No, it was
spare
one
in
of
the
her
comments?
scratching,
Yeah.
and like
Yes,
I'm
I've
not
seen
very.
that.
I can scratch. I'm not very fucking good at it.
I
but
can scratch
I
my
can
balls.
do it. I can scratch. I'm fucking not great at scratching, but you know, back in the vinyl
Yeah.
days, I used to have a dabble. I'm not very good, but like she was doing it, but I know how to do it. I've watched enough of fucking Eddie doing it, right? I know how to do it, and I was watching her, and they were all saying she's not doing it. I had to watch it 3 or 4 times. Like, I actually think she's doing that.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, more
But
to
that then you're going, hold on, I'm getting sucked into these comments too.
Yeah.
Because now I'm trying to justify what they're saying by
yeah,
watching.
it's dangerous shit. But like my point was with her is she is a brand. Like what people don't understand is that if you want to do this for a career, you are a business.
You're a cash
not.
guy.
You are a business. You need to, and if you've got a business, you have to have a good logo. You need to be a good brand. You need to have good socials. You need to have good content. You can't. If I have a fucking deli up the road and nobody fucking knows where it is or knows about it, or it doesn't have a sign, or it's not branded correctly, it doesn't look right. Nobody's going to be able to go find it and be able to start buying stuff from it.
Yeah.
So it's the same with a DJ. And like some people are very fortunate that they look the
Good.
brand.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
it, it's the
fucking
look.
good for them. I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit here getting jealous. She's amazing. She's fit as well.
Shit's all right. Juicy
Oh,
M?
sorry, Katie.
You're allowed the window shop. You're allowed the window shop. But no,
Yeah,
that's it. It's like the brand is the most important thing. And most artists, this is what I was saying, most artists' tunes, if it wasn't from that artist, if it was from a bedroom DJ, wouldn't do well. The exact same tune, built the exact same way, because people aren't buying the music, they're buying you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the main
See
thing.
as well though, you'd never know who's gonna blow up, and if you help people, they'll always remember the people who give them a wee push or give them that bit of advice that helped them get to where they are. If you're a dick,
That's it. Once
just
one, no, I mean, all boats rise with a tide.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
Oh,
you're
look
if you're
at
the
you.
Tide, that's Ray's all
Make it
love
up for your
that.
fucking moment where you-
Yeah, well, you've got to promise we're going to sample that.
Oh yeah,
let's do it.
I'll get it cut and sent over.
So that's the deal. We'll get something together. We'll do phase 2, and Paul Clark will
Yeah.
do a hard techno track. We'll get something together. We'll find.
Hang on, I'm going to be one of those wankers that says, "Oh, it's got to be me at the front and you at the back."
It's alphabetical order. All right.
That really fucking annoys
Look, if we're
me.
using his voice as a sample, it's a phase 2 first.
Phase 2 featuring Sergey.
Just put me in the corner, like right
No,
in the
I
corner.
hate that too. We have got that on lineups where like it's been alphabetical, and because we're phase 2 and we're obviously close to the top, people who are like fucking S, like, no, I need to be above them. We're like, wait,
That's
it's
not how the
just-
alphabet
You're
works.
still getting a play.
Yeah.
I know it does happen, but I also understand it too. Like it is nice to look good on things. Do you know what I mean? But I don't have it in me to ask. There's times I've seen we've played for big brands and they haven't give us individual art, and I'm like, guess we're not getting individual
I'll
art.
tell you what though, Teletech's a dream gig for me, right? That's the golden nugget for me.
Where is it, sir?
Teletech in Manchester. You've not heard of it?
No.
No, it's
Big,
Teletech here is a call center.
Teletech, well, it sounds like that, but mate, they are blowing up, right? They've just got Creamfields, they've got their own stages at Creamfields, and they're the hard techno go-to brand, right? They do all their lineups, even if it's Azaya, Sarah Landry, Shlomo, then you can see Azara at the top. They just do A to Z, and that's fucking great. I think that should be, where it should be. I think, but and I get it that some people have earned the heritage and they need to be up there, and those are the kind of nice politics of it all.
It's the ego again.
It's just fucking whatever.
That's what it is, politics. Right, we'll have to wrap it up because I have to get out of here. I'm going to watch my little girl do her show.
Sweet.
Paul, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on. Let's do it again next time you're over.
Let's do it again in Malta as well.
Done.
We're bringing the
That's the
podcast gear.
Get
Right,
in.
thanks very much, Paul.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank you.
everyone. We'll see you again next week.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.